Welcome to this week's segment of Dialogue Houston. I'm your host, Lawrence Payne. To our regular viewing audience, welcome. To those joining us perhaps for the first time here for HCC's TV Dialogue Houston, we're here now every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 a.m. and again at 6 p.m., Saturday afternoons at 3 p.m. As always, at the top of the hour, let me thank you for your thoughtful calls, emails, and text messages concerning previous shows we've aired here on HCC's TV Dialogue Houston. For after all, this is your community affairs, public affairs show, proudly now in its 30th year. We continue to bring you great programming as we look forward to the new year of 2023. We have great guests and topics and subjects lined up. Always appreciate your ideas for topics, guests, and subjects to be on the show going forward, and enjoy interacting with you in between shows. Today is a very special program to end this year with. It is something that you've heard me talk about here on Dialogue Houston before. In fact, Dialogue Houston is one of the sponsors of this wonderful thing called Houston Task Force on Equity 2036, Houston 2036 Task Force on Equity. It's a citywide initiative that brings leaders together to create and act upon a powerful vision of social justice for Houston's future. The task force harnesses the collective power of American Leadership Forum, the Dialogue Houston Group, University of St. Thomas, University of Houston Downtown, the Holocaust Museum, and others to be added as we go forward. In the next few weeks, we have a whole nother list of new partners that are joining us. One of the initiatives that came out of the first cohort group this past season was this wonderful group called Fit Houston. And Fit Houston is one of those things that is just so great that it came into being because the timing is just right for it. It's the perfect program at the perfect time for fulfilling a great need. I'm gonna let our guests talk about Fit Houston more and more, but basically it is to increase access to free outdoor space and programming for all Houstonians. To head up this discussion about Fit Houston, and as we go into also the task force on equity and announce some things coming up in January, is Lharissa Jacobs. Lharissa Jacobs is now the executive director / president / CEO. And we'll let her talk about that of Fit Houston. The brain that's behind Fit Houston with her board and dedicated group of steering committee members who have brought the thing into fruition to this point. And it really has been a labor of love, commitment, and dedication, and passion on her part that has made this happen. And that's the piece we want to emphasize to the whole task force of 2036 Houston's on Equity. The people who have been involved in this comes out of their dedication, their love, their commitment, their unconditional love and passion for these issues. And that's what's going to make the difference. Lharissa is also going to introduce our special guest, also with her today, who brings that same passion and commitment to the issues that we deal with that are so important in helping human beings, not just to survive, not just to thrive, about flourishing. Human beings were meant to flourish to the fullness of their God-given potential. And so that's what we're seeking to do through this question of equity to help human beings to be able to flourish. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Lharissa, let her introduce herself and our guest, and we're going to dive into this wonderful discussion about Fit Houston. Lharissa, welcome.
Well, thank you so much, Larry, and to the entire team here at Dialogue Houston. I just want to say this is exciting to be able to talk about innovation and, in particular, community health. I'm also extremely honored to be joined by Dr. Bettina Beech. She was very involved in the Houston 2036 Task Force on Equity effort as a panelist and just a real expert on health. I've learned so much from her. She is officially the Chief Population Health Officer of the University of Houston and leading great efforts. In her free time, she is also on the Humana Foundation Board of Directors, and she is a member of the National Board of Health and Wellness Coaching, which is something near and dear to my heart. I know in our private conversations, Dr. Beech and I have a great love of healthy living and just I'm kind of a fangirl of hers, so I'm super happy that we're together. This is a kind of a dream just to have this conversation today. Thank you, Dr. Beech, for being with us.
Thank you, Lharissa, and thank you, Larry. I'm looking forward to this conversation.
And welcome, Dr. Beech. So Lharissa, let's kick us off. Tell us this whole kind of frame and contextual piece about how we got into Fit Houston.
Well, thank you. For me, the pivotal moment was the day that I got the email and phone call from this committee for the Houston 2036 Task Force on Equity. And It was, kind of like we're going to assemble 36 leaders that we think are doing great work in the community. And we think that you might want to join us. And as the Vice President of Health Strategies for the American Heart Association, I was absolutely thrilled to roll my sleeves up. I was basically placed on a team with 5 other wonderful people whom I've grown to adore and just really enjoy. And we are Team Fit Houston. We all have different backgrounds. We started out the process to be able to create a pitch as we moved toward pitch day, which I still remember. I think it was June 4th, 2022. So it was like the dates emblazoned in my mind. It was kind of like, how can we spend the next few months getting a pitch together to address health? It's such a huge topic. There are so many things we need to work on. There are so many great organizations doing wonderful work in health. So where do we start? So we started out at the whiteboard, and we would get together nights and weekends. Sometimes we'd order a little dinner, and we'd get our dry erase markers out there, and we would just start talking about what we heard from the community. And we did what's called systems mapping. So we put it all on the board, and and in all of our free time, we would start asking other experts in health from outside of our group if they thought we were going in the right direction. Some of those experts included Dr. Ann Barnes. She's been advising me in my community health work for many, many years. And so just hearing from Dr. Barnes at the time, she was the chief, I think the chief health officer of Harris Health System. And so she had great opinions, just kind of in meetings. Whenever I would see Dr. Beech in meetings, I would always kind of ask, what else do you think is important to focus on? And so we really thought about, what's the one thing that we could really emphasize that maybe other organizations are not working on. And for us, it was physical activity as an intervention and driver of good health, and for prevention and control of chronic disease. That was really kind of where we landed. A lot of our meetings we did on foot, walking. We noticed that there were certain areas of Houston that were perfect for this kind of walking meeting. We also noticed there were other communities that maybe didn't really have a lot of access to physical activity. And so resident interviews, time in the community, speaking with people in healthcare and speaking with people just in the community and just learning, we put together a pitch, and we felt good about it, and it was pretty well received. So I'll take a pause there and see if that kind of answered most of the question. I don't know if there's something else that I should have added in.
It did for a great starting context. Dr. Beech, how do you see this thing developing and shaping up, and the importance of why we're doing this?
Yeah, let me begin by thanking Lharissa for her leadership. I have to say the competition was stiff. There were some outstanding pitches, and I'm thrilled that Fit Houston sort of came through the gauntlet to be able to be selected. I see Fit Houston as an opportunity to address the lack of walkable communities, the lack of spaces where people feel safe to be physically active, but to engage in ways that really does embrace community spirit, that will allow people to come together, to be able to work as a community to get fit and just enjoy, to not feel that this is about how many push-ups and pull-ups and jumping jacks one can do, but to just move. We know that moving more makes a difference. You've heard about the old adage of 10,000 steps. Some of the science is being questioned. Is it really 10,000? Is it a little bit less? Is it a little bit more? But the point is movement. And particularly as we age in fighting off and preventing chronic disease, movement is critically important. I'm old enough to remember the presidential fitness test from school. And it was a big deal to earn that badge. And so physical fitness was permeated throughout school growing up. But now when budget cuts happen with school, music programs and physical fitness programs are among the first to be cut. And so Fit Houston is going to give an opportunity for families to come together as well as communities to be able to keep our community healthy.
And the pledge is one that we need to talk about, because 30 minutes a day is reasonable, it's doable, regardless of what your health conditions may be or not be. Even I can do 30, even with my issues. But it's important to have, as you said, movement, to get up and do something. It helps your mental capacity, your spiritual capacity. It helps you in the emotions that you're dealing with. It helps with the stress. It just helps. And we always talk about at the end of the year, these New Year's resolutions that nobody keeps longer than 3 weeks. But this one you can do. This one you can carry on for the rest of the year. Lharissa, tell us why it's so important to get people to understand that this pledge and this commitment to doing it is not only a commitment to yourself, it's a commitment to your loved ones, to your family, to be healthy, to be stronger, so that you can be present with them and be healthy and strong to be able to be with them and to serve them.
Yes, thank you. On January 1st, we are launching our health campaign, which is about, I would say, the first large part of our strategy that we've developed for Fit Houston. It's a citywide health campaign called #Walk30. It doesn't cost anything to participate. It's just about walking. Encourage your neighbors, encourage your friends. 30 minutes a day if you can. If you can do 15 minutes, that is a huge win. We did partner with the Texas Heart Institute on this. We're very excited because we have the top minds in science that are working with us on this. But we're really partnering with all kinds of organizations, University of Houston, the mayor's office. We talked to city council about it the other day, and they were so excited and positive. So we're very excited to perhaps see some council members also walking. But, it doesn't matter where you work or who you are or what you do. If you can, put on your shoes and take a short walk. It will pay you back in benefits beyond anything you can imagine. You should feel better. You should think better. If you can do it outside, that's great. If what you can do is walk in your living room, that would be a huge win. It's just walk where you are. The Centers for Disease Control recommends 150 minutes of physical activity for adults every week. So that's really 5 days, walking 30 minutes a day if you can. And again, just adapting any way that you need to. We would be so proud if you get up and move a little bit in any way that works for you. I know Dr. Beech is working on instant recess. I think that would count. But, take a selfie, a photo of yourself, and hashtag us, #Walk30. I'm actually excited because we did make arrangements for a digital health app to be able to get everybody to log in. So I don't have that information yet, but it's coming. But we were able to get a health app to work with us. So very excited about that. So that announcement comes soon.
Good, thank you. Dr. Beech, I love the concept of recess. For adults need recess too. I enjoyed recess. But tell us about that, because I think people need to figure out a way to work this into their lifestyle, into their schedule. And the more you make it fun, the more you make it something exciting, the more apt they are to do it.
Absolutely. So the concept really came from one of my colleagues who's unfortunately no longer with us, Dr. Tony Yancey from UCLA, who created something called physical activity breaks. And so it was changed to instant recess by those who had implemented it. And it's just what you said, Larry. Sometimes as adults, we have very sedentary jobs. We sit a lot. We don't integrate enough fun into what we're doing. And so this was a way during the workday to simply take 5 minutes to move and be physically active. And that became a very coordinated strategy to be able to move forward. We've implemented this in medical clinics where you're waiting for a long time for a visit, that there was a space in the back that people could be physically active. It's been implemented in schools where neuroscience research shows that if kids get up and move in between, that it helps them with their cognition, with thinking, and readiness to learn. So we want to implement this at the University of Houston and getting students to challenge other groups and clubs and organizations and other universities to have instant recess breaks. And just the name kind of makes you smile, and it sounds like fun, doesn't it?
It does. Adults need recess. We got away from it. It worked for us as kids and children for a reason. And it works. So let's talk about, when you mention equity, the question always comes up. People who talk about, yes, you can do it in your living room, you can do it at home. As Lharissa said, you can do it anywhere. But for those who want kind of a structured place to do it, an outdoor gym or outdoor exercise equipment, we know when it comes to the question across Houston, that is a mixed bag. The discrepancies and inequities that exist on just places to go to do the exercise, to have the gym. That's where these free outdoor gyms we're talking about putting together, called fit lots, become so important. Tell us about fit lots.
Thank you so much. We have, again, Fit Houston has a strategy with a few different pieces. We definitely are working with multiple stakeholders. The health campaign was the first part. The Fit Lots is a big part, and it's I would say, a long-term goal. There are areas of Europe, Asia, South America, different countries where you have free outdoor gyms all across the cities there. We have some outdoor equipment here in Houston. I want to be fair. I think the city of Houston Parks and Recs has done a fantastic job. Houston Parks Board's done a great job. Buffalo Bayou Partnership, Herman Park Conservancy, fabulous job of putting in some, pieces of equipment. The Fit Lot is a fully functional outdoor gym. It has a canopy, a big sail shade over it. It has moving components such as an elliptical, and I'm not sure I remember what this is called, but it's like a wheel where you can work out your arms. I know I used it in physical therapy a couple years ago. So the Fit Lot has those. Fit Lot, it would hold about 25 people at a time. And it's free access. If you can get to a gym and you have a membership like I do at the Y, and you can go all the time and you like it, that's fantastic. I think that's wonderful. Additionally, we could fill the gap and offer essentially free access to a gym if we have this free outdoor gym next to a trail. We do have Fit Lots in 50 states across the United States, thanks to the work of AARP with Fit Lots. But we don't have one in Houston, don't have any in Houston. There's one in San Antonio. So we're traveling to San Antonio next month to check out the Fit Lot there. We want to try it out and climb on the elliptical and try that out. So a couple of us are going to go do that. But we've been working very steadily with the stakeholders in all these outdoor spaces and trails and parks, trying to see if we can figure out the perfect place to put a Fit Lot. So we hope to have one installed just as soon as we can really gain enough momentum to do that.
Dr. Beech, the stuff you're doing on the campus for the system, UH system, of course, is so important. But so many of those things have opportunities to be shared with the community and to also take place in community settings. And I know U of H is trying to reach out and do some of that. Tell us about some of the partnerships you're putting together to kind of make that happen.
Oh, there are so many partnerships. I have to say, I'm fairly new to University of Houston still. I get to say that, I think, for another couple of months. I'll be starting my third year in April 2020 is where I started. So I was a pandemic hire. And so I was off campus for a long time. So coming back to campus, I'm just so impressed with everything from our College of Education that works on the 3rd and 5th Ward initiatives and working with schools. Our College of Medicine that is also working with schools in partnership with Lharissa and the American Heart Association had a wonderful Grandparents' Day at Blackshear Elementary, focused on blood pressure and many other health-related events. We work with a lot of housing developments and trying to bring health care to communities. And there's so much more that needs to be done. And I think community voice has been quite loud. We just need to take what they have already told us and move things forward. And Fit Lots is one of those opportunities that we have to take away barriers of cost to allow, again, families to be physically fit. I'm a native of California, but the last 7 years I spent in Jackson, Mississippi, and they have a Fit Lot. And it has been a phenomenal addition to the community. They are full every time I drive by there. So I'm so excited to see this be implemented in Houston. Wonderful.
To do all of this work, as Lharissa mentioned, is the idea of putting together a wellness coalition. And a wellness coalition that is multifaceted, that has many partners from different walks of life and different experiences and organizations. But that coalition is so important for everyone who has whatever potential to contribute from their own perspective and their own organization, to be part of the collaboration, to be part of the coalition, to actually form those partnerships you need for long-term sustainability going forward. And I know you've already started the coalition movement. Lharissa, tell us a little bit about that and how that's going.
Yeah, thank you so much. That is an exciting work in progress. We have been offered space at the Buffalo Bayou Partnership. It's very kind. They've been extremely welcoming to us. And we're just inviting people to come from Hope Clinic. We've got the YMCA, Baker Ripley has been invited, just all of our community partners that see many, many clients and many people in their hug. We've invited them. So, it's just a beginning. I think it's kind of the early stages, but I think the dream and the vision is to have a place where we can share what we're doing. Hope Clinic is doing Walk with the Doc in partnership with Precinct 2 and Aldine. And so, how's it going, right? How's it going to have patients walking? Is that something that's working? Could we take this gathering, this group of smart people doing great work and share the stories so that maybe Walk with the Doc would spread across this coalition? Maybe that's not something that a clinic wants to do. They want to do a healthy cooking demonstration. Is there something going on in that space that we could all learn from? So, we kind of hope that it's just going to be a kind of a movable thing and bringing in new partners. And it's going to be all about physical activity, how to do it, what's working, what's not working, and healthy eating. And hopefully some partnerships will grow out of it. But it's early stages, but we've gotten some great response.
Wonderful. Tell us where we can go to sign up for the Healthy Pledge.
So we do have a website. It is fithouston.org. We are still working on kind of enrollment and all of that. We just settled with the health app. I think we settled that yesterday. So instructions are coming out real soon. Please visit us on Instagram at FitHouston1. Got the number 1 at the end there. So there's some information there, and just looking forward to having everybody participate January 1st.
So in the overall scheme of this, as we move forward, as we've talked already this time together, what do you see happening in 2023 to kind of really expand this out and get the community involved? Because it's such a simple concept. It's such a clean, crisp, neat concept. It doesn't have a lot of moving parts. It all depends on your commitment to your own health equity and to get involved and to do something. And I see little groups springing up all around the city of people walking together, having walking meetings together, going to the fit locks and exercising together, and just spending more time, not only outdoors, but spending more time with each other. This has the opportunity to really build community, and to build community across sectors and across ethnicities and across all kinds of definitions. Just the ability to be with other human beings in proximity of something that you share and passion for, whether it's walking, whether it's exercise, whether it's health, seems to me to be a great thing that we need in this kind of divided world that we're in right now, to bring people together. Just bring them together.
Yeah, I love everything that you said. And, when you talk about it being kind of a crisp and clean kind of a concept, that kind of appeals to me, because I think that, I think when it comes to our health, it can be confusing. The dream is by 2036 that we'll have a culture of health here, that people will understand how much they need to walk or be active. Part of that dream would be to have at least 10 to 20 fit lots installed across Houston so that everyone has access. And additionally, to build that sort of network of believers. I'm a believer in health and wellness. Dr. Beech is a believer in health and wellness. We are not alone. There are other people out there, and this movement belongs not to me. I was just telling somebody this morning, it is not my baby, it's our baby. We're doing it together. And so I think the dream is that, everywhere, in every community, every neighborhood, all leaders and all residents, all people will be talking about what they need to do for their health and how good that is to just take a walk, eat healthy, and to have that access on top of it would just be fantastic.
Dr. Beech, before we run out of time, I want to make sure we give you an ample opportunity to add anything that you have not done so, and to give us some closing thoughts.
Well, thank you. As usual, Lharissa described that so well. Again, I'm going to harken back to when I was younger. I don't know why I'm having this recollection during this interview, but used to walk as a family after dinner. There was time, particularly in the summers, where things just seemed easier. And so to build that culture where we just move, we move together. Lharissa and I will have a meeting and she'll say, do you mind having a walk meeting? So that becomes normative. It's just an exciting part of Houston's future. And we know that we are the prophetic city. So to lead the nation in fitness, why not us?
Couldn't have said it any better. I love the concept of the prophetic city. I also love the concept of community coming together to really create and build the beloved community.
Indeed.
Those concepts all work here together. If we can just get people interacting with each other and having the dialogues that they need to have, not only about health and wellness, but about the other issues, because one kind of leads to the other. If I'm walking and talking with you about health and issues, other things will come up. And so we talk about those that we can agree on, that we have in common, the rest we leave alone. And go forward, because I think that's the piece that we have to inculcate into Houstonians as one community, as one whole community, not individual pockets or silos. We're one community. Health and wellness is a great way to bring people together. We can agree on that in common. So Lharissa, where do we go from here? What's the vision for 2023?
I would say make sure that you participate in hashtag Walk30. We have a number of assets coming out. We've got videos to tell you how to download the app, and we try to make that app as easy as possible. We're trying hard to get language translations into English and Spanish, and just working on the rest of it as we go. So Hope Clinic has been incredibly gracious about helping us with some of our translations. But any way you can, walk 30 minutes a day. Follow us. We will be blasting out on social media, but be sure that you participate. And I think we'll even have some raffle items as well. Not based on how much you walk, just based on participation. I want to be clear. There will be no workout warriors as part of the Walk 30. So I don't want someone to feel like they walked 5 minutes and it wasn't great. It is great. Get active. Stay with us. Join the community. It's going to be so wonderful, I promise.
I cannot thank you both enough for being here on this segment of Dialogue Houston, talking about something that's so important to us and the community as a whole. We're going to watch the work of Fit Houston as it goes forward. We'll announce the things that we need to announce to keep the public informed. But do go to the hashtag, go to the website, sign up for the pledge. January, we'll talk more about where and what we'll walk. We may even tell you where we're going to all meet up and have a little quick walk and do that together as a group. But it's going to be fun, it's going to be exciting, and it's going to be inclusive and holistic of the whole truthfulness of who the community is and what we do. So again, thank you both for being part of this. Quick closing comments. The idea that we're talking about is equity, and the roadmap and the road to equity is empathy. And empathy is one of those things we really need to talk about, because it is an empathetic heart that will allow this question of equity, this question of wellness and health, to be available to everyone, because that's really what it's all about, and to empower individuals to have the facts, statistics, and data they need to be able to be warriors around this issue of health equity, and to be able to make the changes necessary, not only in their life, but even perhaps to address some policy issues that need to be addressed and practices that will help aid the process of a healthy Houston, of a fit Houston, as we go forward. So we look forward to you joining us in upcoming segments of Dialogue Houston. As always, to everyone, have a happy holidays. Continue to do our work together in collective understanding of who we are as human beings. And until we come together next time, as always, stay well, stay healthy, and peace, power, and love.